Well, how's everybody doing today? It's pretty hot outside. Hot enough that I had to put the AC on in the shop here. Actually, it's not really hot, it's just muggy. Good God, the weather's coming north here. Rain for the next 4 days. Been beautiful other than that. So, well, in my other video, we went up to Drummond Island there and we had a good time. The old Talon here, she took some damage. Most of it's just cosmetic. I don't think there's any real mechanical stuff that's really bad. So I put it up on the hoist here just to take a look at it. Obviously, the bumper is got a pretty good wallop in there. I tried to climb this rock. I was trying to get it to hit and slide up on there, as you can see, but it didn't work so good. Looks like I caved this in. What else did we do to this thing? Oh, I hit a big rock right here. This thing's got a big old gouge right on the main. That was a hard hit. Doesn't seem like it, but it was a pretty hard hit. Obviously, you can see the undercarriage is taking a beating with this thing set up so low. These things actually, for me not liking them, you know, at first, these A-arm sliders, they do their job. They're not bent. I put a straight edge on them, and I smoked the rock over here pretty hard. Yeah. So front end looks pretty good. I actually thought I might have bent my A-arm. I hit so hard on this side. It was awful sounding. But I didn't. So looks like we're just going to need to either build a bumper or buy one. Haven't really decided. So yeah, I don't really care about none of that stuff. Not a big deal. See my seatbelt thing's hanging down all the way here. Rims obviously have some wear and tear on them. Nothing crazy. So that's probably the worst of it. The side piece there. And this arm on this side is tweaked. And it's really hard to, you can't barely see it with the naked eye. But I put a straight edge on it, and it's got, I would say, 1/8 of a tweak. So it's bowed up in the middle here. Yeah. And that's primarily, I had it, that same rock that it ran all the way down here. Actually, it wedged in between here. You can see where it was wedged in between here. I got lucky and didn't break my drive shaft. And, you know, but I made it off of it. So this side, the same piece got kind of, you can see this got ripped up, pulled out. That's a pretty easy fix. You know, this is all just roached. These bolts are all bent over. You know, she took a pretty good beating on the rocks. So, good time though. We had a great time up there. Well worth it. And so what are we doing now? So this weekend, we've got an endurance race. I've decided, a friend of mine called and said, hey, they got an 1.5 to 2 hour long endurance race for the side-by-sides. It's a 7-mile course up in northern Michigan, not in the Upper Peninsula. So pretty pumped about that, to actually take this stock machine and go run it. It's a scramble race, so they start everybody, all side-by-side start at the same time. It's a big field that they start in at next down. And it's basically, I think, a war of attrition is more or less what it's gonna. So, you know, it'd be interesting because I know a few of the people that are going got these turbos. They're all turned up, and they're going to tell me how fast they're going to go. But I really think that they're going to have problems with belts. You know, I think you run your machine hard for 1.5 to 2 hours. I don't think the belts will last running them that hard. You know, I think you really have to monitor your belt temperature and drive accordingly. But you know, they do the Baja 1000 with them and stuff. So I guess maybe I'm wrong. I guess we'll find out. I've just seen a lot of belt failures on machines that have been just ripped hard for like a half hour, and I'm talking like just ripping on them. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Got to get these 28s off there. Jesus, these things are terrible. They're good tires. They're too small. Like, it's terrible. And I can't make my mind up if I want to put 32s or 30s on. I want to drive somebody's that's got 32s on it. See the difference. So what we're doing for race prep is I've got this is a quick mount for a fire extinguisher. I got to paint it yet. Actually won this a few years back at a Jeep event. And basically you mount, this gets band clamped like this, like that. And then you pull this pin, really hard to do one-handed when it's not mounted to anything. So anyways, you pull the pin, and then it comes off with the, so a pretty nice little, probably make a ton of noise. But I gotta figure out a place to put that, and I'm gonna get that cargo box out of there because I'm gonna be going pretty freaking hard. So my buddy's got a Hans device he's gonna lend me, and we're gonna see how long this fat guy can run this machine flat out. So ought to be pretty cool. Guys, I'll try and get some GoPro footage of it. It's be kind of hard when you're concentrating on racing. I don't know who's gonna be my co-pilot yet, but I'm really interested to see how it does on long term. It's not really, there's nothing any real radical, they said, on the course. Through the woods, trails, and hill climbs. There's a few jumps, which I'm not a huge jumper, and these machines really, unless the jump's right, they don't jump right. They seem to be a little nose heavy. I'm not a big jump guy, so I don't really not look forward to that part. I don't really care. I'll hit them, but yeah. So gonna get that mounted, and then go over all the fluids, make sure everything is right where it needs to be. Clean the air filter, and then go up there Sunday and tack in, and I've already got my harnesses, so I'm good there. And I don't really know what the terrain is like up there. I've never ridden at that. It's actually at an off-road park called Twisted Trails, and it's put on by OBORR, which normally does like short course stuff, but they're doing this long like thing. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, the lights turned out really well. Looks really good. If you see my other video, they light up pretty dang good. The green lights are actually really bright on this setup. And the pods up there, the little square pods, great. You know, they work exactly. They're not really long distance ones. They're more like a floodlight. So I'm pretty happy with that. You know, I wish somebody close to me had a set of 30-inch tires for this thing. I'd like to run a set of 30s on it this weekend, and just to get a little bit taller tire. I don't know how fast it'll be, but that's kind of where we're at, guys. A little update. I will, as we get closer to race day, I might post another video, get this all mounted up, get it all prepped, and I might even clean it up a little bit more. I'm thinking about putting a little more preload back into it, just so, I don't know. I kind of like the low slung for racing, but that's where we're at, guys.